Betul itu pas naik panggung,
কি है
sedap.
तो इससे नो इस हले हम याद ही हम जहाँ जहाँ मंगाने खा सकते हैं
Hah? Jadi bu,
तो होगी जब मिस्ट होगी सब
cocok itu apa contoh jadi kau?
ना
Hah?
इसने तो होगी जगह ना शुद्ध या नियो नियो का साले का सुरंद नहीं आता है हड़े बाकी सुरंद रटा के हड़े
Empat tidak kau?
ऐसा तो ज़्यादा दिवाली
Hah?
ऐसा तो ज़्यादा दिवाली
এখানে আপনারা দেখতে পাচ্ছেন বড় একটা স্ক্রিন আর এখানে নিচে কিছু অপশন আছে এখানে মাইকের ইনপুট দেখাচ্ছে তো প্রথমে যেটা করবেন আপনারা লাইভ স্ট্রিম করার আগে ওবিএস এর মধ্যে যা কাজ ইউটিউবের কাজটা পরে প্রথমে আপনারা এখানে একটা সিন ক্রিয়েট করবেন আই মিন আপনি এই ডিসপ্লেটাতে যা দেখবেন এই যে ব্ল্যাক ডিসপ্লেটা দেখতে পাচ্ছেন এই ডিসপ্লেটাতে যা দেখবেন তাই ইউটিউবে লাইভ স্ট্রিম হবে সেটা টিভি চ্যানেলও করতে পারেন আপনি ওয়েবক্যাম করতে পারেন অথবা আপনি স্ক্রিন করতে পারেন যদি আচ্ছা আমি দেখাচ্ছি আপনাদেরকে প্রথমে হচ্ছে এখান থেকে আপনি নতুন একটা স্ক্রিন ক্রিয়েট করে নেবেন অ্যাডে ক্লিক করে স্ক্রিন 1
Hi. Hello.
Standing. And the 8-year marriage of Fergie and Josh Darmel is over. The singer and actor have confirmed that they had decided to split up earlier this year, but kept the news quiet to give their family the best opportunity to adjust. They have a son, Axel, who was born in 2013.
The Hollywood actor Harry Dean Stanton has died at the age of 91. His film credits include Cool Hand Luke, Alien and Pretty in Pink. His breakthrough role came at the age of 58, playing the lead in the art house film Paris, Texas. Our US correspondent Greg Milan reports.
If he never quite earned the status of leading man, Harry Dean Stanton was an unforgettable presence on the screen. He became a cult favourite. It was his performance in Paris, Texas, as a man haunted by his past, that brought real fame. It came as he was approaching his 60s.
Jonesy?
He'd already appeared in some of the more memorable films of the 1970s, and always said he was lucky to have worked with the greats.
Oh yeah, I worked with the best directors, Martin Scorsese, John Huston, David Lynch, Alfred Hitchcock. Alfred Hitchcock was great. I did his series. Remember that series, Hitchcock Presents?
It was David Lynch who directed him in Twin Peaks, who tweeted, "The great Harry Dean Stanton has left us. There went a great one. There's nobody like Harry Dean." Everyone loved him, and with good reason. He was a great actor, actually beyond great, and a great human being. So great to be around him. You are really going to be missed, Harry Dean. Loads of love to you wherever you are now. Those craggy looks and deadpan delivery had become a Hollywood staple.
See, an ordinary person spends his life avoiding tense situations. Repo Man spends his life getting into tense situations.
Service in World War II and a career dating back to the 1950s left him with a laid-back philosophy on life.
Everything just happens. Nobody's in charge. It's one big phantasmagoria. Everything is unfolding perfectly. Realism is the practice of accepting a situation as it is.
What you're saying is what you see is what you get.
But what you see is not what I get.
He was a straight-talking drinker and smoker who hung out with Hollywood's hellraisers. The industry now says goodbye to one of its most unmistakable faces. Greg Milam, Sky News.
Time now to get you all up to date with the day's sports news. Let's take you over to Sky Sports News.
Thanks very much.
Sergio Aguero scored a hat-trick as Manchester City moved top of the Premier League. They put 6 goals past Watford, who were previously unbeaten going into this game. City have now scored 15 goals in 3 matches. Gabriel Jesus, Nicolas Otamendi and Raheem Sterling scored City's other goals.
Sergio now is in top form, same with Gabriel. The people who came from the bench, always they give us something new. So it was good. We make a good performance. That is the most important thing, to play good, because when you play good, after that, always you win.
Roy Hodgson has lost his first game as Crystal Palace managed. They were beaten 1-0 by Southampton at Selhurst Park. Stephen Davis scored the winner. Palace are still without a win and haven't scored yet this season. The next 3 Premier League games are against Manchester United, Manchester City and Chelsea.
It was the worst possible start, conceding the goal so early. A team that's obviously a little bit nervous and anxious anyway becomes even more nervous and anxious. thought that obviously we didn't push up to the ball as well as we would have liked the players to do. We were perhaps a bit cautious.
Burnley picked up a point at Liverpool. They drew 1-1 despite the hosts having 35 shots. Newcastle also picked up a win at home to Stoke, while Huddersfield against Leicester and West Brom versus West Ham both finished as draws. Lewis Hamilton has suffered a blow to his F1 title hopes in qualifying for the Singapore Grand Prix. His Drivers' Championship rival Sebastian Vettel has taken pole position for tomorrow's race, while Hamilton will start from 5th. The Mercedes driver leads Vettel by just 3 points in the standings. The Red Bulls of Max Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo completed the top 3, with the other Ferrari of Kimi Raikkonen also starting ahead of Hamilton.
We knew that we would come here and it would be difficult. I think every year it's been relatively difficult for us generally, but we knew that today would be tough. I definitely didn't anticipate Ferrari would be as strong as they were. I thought Red Bull would be as quick as they were, but we still remained hopeful. But yeah, I got everything I could out of the car. I gave it everything. So, I mean, geez, everything and more. So, literally threw the sink at it.
We will indeed. Thanks very much indeed. Do stay with us here on Sky News. Coming up at 9, we'll have more on the investigation into the Parsons Green terror attack.
There again. Thought it was going to run out of play and made sure that it did. But off the pitch
Come to the football half. Put your hands in the air.
Homes are evacuated as police search a house in Surrey in connection with the London Tube bombing. Residents won't be allowed to return tonight. It follows the arrest of an 18-year-old man at the port of Dover this morning on suspicion of planting the Parsons Green bomb.
It is a very significant arrest. But as I said, we're open-minded. If there are other people responsible, it's our job to find them. And that is part of the reason why we are remaining critical of the moment.
The Home Secretary says the authorities must learn lessons from the Parsons Green attack.
Get rid of it.
We will have to make sure that we take all steps we can to ensure that the sort of materials that this man was able to collect become more and more difficult to combine together. We will always learn from these sort of incidents.
Also ahead, Boris Johnson is accused of a leadership bid after he promises the NHS will get that £350 million after Brexit. And Ryanair cancels up to 50 flights a day for 6 weeks to clear a backlog of leave for its crew.
More this season as well, won't they? With the Europa League campaign upcoming, they're going to be used.
Hello, good evening. Police have arrested an 18-year-old man in Dover on suspicion of planting the bomb on a tube train in London, which injured 30 people. In a related operation, a street in Sunbury in Surrey has been evacuated as police search a house there. The residents may not be allowed back tonight. The house belongs to Penelope and Ronald Jones, who received NDEs from the Queen after fostering dozens of children, including refugees. The Home Secretary Amber Rudd said the arrest is very significant. The UK terror threat level will remain critical. Our Home Affairs correspondent Mark White reports.
Baker trying to look out Jeremy Boga, who is on that left-hand side.
In broad daylight, counter-terrorism specialist firearms officers forced their way into this house in the middle of a normally quiet residential
street. Who was in the Arsenal Academy, has just signed a 5-year contract with Benfica.
The small Surrey town of Sunbury-on-Thames, the most unlikely of settings for an anti-terror operation.
Mum and Dad are happy.
But Scotland Yard has confirmed the raid is directly linked to the arrest of an 18-year-old suspect in the Parsons Green tube bombing. At this stage, we're keeping an open mind around whether more than one person is responsible for the attack. And we are still pursuing numerous lines of inquiry and at great pace.
Nice wing play.
Neighbours were rushed from their homes and moved well away behind police cordons amid concerns about the possibility of explosives inside the property.
Bit of a lucky
they
pass
have been evacuating people,
you have to
and
say,
as they cordon around
the ball doesn't land with Arsenal,
and we've got about
near
120
penalty, I think
people
they really
at the rugby club.
I was scared, to be honest. I was really scared because, you know, not only the police, the army,
Sky sources have confirmed the house by a well-respected local couple who fostered many child refugees over the years.
For a goal kick.
Ron and Penelope Jones were awarded NDEs 8 years ago by the Queen in recognition of that work.
Crowded out, Giroud. You only feel that
the Dover arrest, more than 80 miles south of the site of the London tube bombing, has been described as very significant and linked to the Parsons Green station attack.
Next season for Kennedy.
The suspect is undergoing questioning by counter-terrorism detectives back in London. In the meantime, the terror threat level stays at critical.
We will have to make sure that we take all the steps we can to ensure that the sort of materials that this man was able to collect become more and more difficult to combine together. We will always learn from these sort of incidents.
Experts are still examining the remains of the bomb. The fact it didn't fully detonate will provide significant clues, not just about its makeup, but also perhaps whether others had a direct hand in its construction.
As careful as the offenders may have been in constructing that bomb, for example, they may have worn gloves, at some point they will have slipped up, at some point some sweat, some saliva, some other trace will have been left on that device which will leave a DNA sample that can be retrieved and then they can identify the persons responsible.
The tempo of counter-terrorism operations of late has been relentless. The Parsons Green investigation is still at a very early stage with other police raids likely. For the time being, authorities say they can't rule out the possibility of other suspects. There will inevitably be more police raids and arrests as police officers follow up fresh leads in the days ahead. Mark White, Sky News.
Well, in a moment we'll speak to Lorna Shattuck, who's in Shepperton, where some of the residents have been taken. But first, let's talk to Dan Whitehead, who's in Sunbury-on-Thames, where that police raid has been taking place. So, Dan, get us up to date with what's happening there now.
Well, Anna, in the last half an hour or so, families and people living on Cavendish Road here in Sunbury are being allowed back into their properties. It has been more than 7 hours on a very cold day, and some of the families with very young children were fast asleep, and they've been telling me they're simply exhausted, but they are now being allowed back into their homes. Police here tell me there are a small number of properties which will not be allowed back in this evening, and the cordon actually remains fully in place. The road here remains closed to traffic, and the residents who are being allowed back into the property have been told that they cannot leave this evening.
Jose Font. Quaresma. Did well to hold off Lamela. Thiago Silva. Bosingwa. Argentina getting ready to make a couple of changes shortly, I understand. Roberto Pereira and Jonathan Silva. Bruno Alves. Guerreiro. He's done well there, the fullback. It's got Portugal further up the pitch here when he'll take the quick throw, denied that. It's Eder. Foul by Alves. We've seen very little of Portugal as an attacking threat. Plenty of Argentina in these positions. Can they make the breakthrough this time? In goes Gaetan. Header was never troubling Beto. He's certainly got the beating of Guerreiro in the air. It might be a weapon yet for Argentina. Argentina making their two changes that I mentioned. Roberto Pereira and Jonathan Silva. Off comes Christian Ansaldi. He's going to make way for Pastores, the other player coming off here. So Pereira will drop into midfield in place of Pastore. Silva will go in at left back instead of Ansaldi. Jonathan Silva of Sporting Club Lisbon. So he's up against one or two of his Portuguese club mates tonight. Silva, just 20 years old, second cap for him, just a fourth cap for Pereira, who's dropped into midfield. Getting an opportunity to view some of the fringe players of their respective squads. Eder very nearly embarrassed Guzman there. Here's Tevez. There's a play out here for Facundo Roncaglia. Cut out by Guerreiro. He's only got Eder ahead of him. Looks for him. Pereira. Lamela. Bilia. Loose from Tevez. Here's Thiago. Di Michelis read that ahead of Eder. Oh, Thiago's already on a yellow card, and I think Martin Atkinson would avoid at all costs showing a red card in a friendly, but I think in a competitive game, Thiago might well have been in deep trouble there. And he goes again for the challenge, and this time he's got the free kick. But he would have had a nervy second or two there after he went into that earlier challenge. Well, make your mind up on this one. Oh, well, that's a yellow card all day long in a competitive match. Martin Atkinson has let Thiago away with one there. Mascherano, given away, free kick. And Portugal left frustrated. They had a real good break on the Argentina defence there. But the referee decided there was a foul on Mascherano. The latest to stay down and be in some sort of anguish. He's got trodden on there by Quaresma. Tata Martino since he took over from Alex Sabella. 3 wins and 1 defeat. The defeat came in the Clásico de las Américas game against Brazil. Otherwise it's been wins all the way. Tevez. Silva. Good ball in. Gaitan was just trying to affect the little back heel and kept alive here by Lamela. This is Bilia. Mascherano. Roncaglia. Quaresma looking to deal with this, but Jonathan Silva has eventually been penalised for the challenge. But this was the cross that was delivered here by Jonathan Silva, and Gaitan, look at that, just trying to flick it over his head. And a decent attempt. A change now for Portugal. On comes William Carvalho, highly rated defensive midfield player, coming on to replace Thiago. Fernando Santos well aware of that incident a moment or two ago where Thiago doesn't want to risk another challenge like that, which might just stretch the patience of referee Martin Atkinson. So Carvalho is on. Portugal have used all their 6 substitutes now. One more left for Argentina, should Tata Martino wish to make it. I'm sure the crowd would like to see Sergio Aguero, despite the fact that there'll be a fair amount of Manchester United fans amongst the crowd this evening. But, it's been in great form for Manchester City in the Premier League this season. Here's Lamela, Tevez, Eric Lamela again, Lucas Bilia, Lamela, and Carvalho. Adrian Silva finding Ricardo Quaresma. Gonna have a run here. That's Silva. He's now got plenty of blue and white shirts for company. Just didn't make his mind up what he was going to do there, Quaresma. It's his foul on Otamendi. Well, the referee is wanting a word here with Quaresma. Roncaglia. De Michelis. Lamela. It's fair to say most of the support inside Old Trafford tonight is for Portugal. They've rarely threatened the Argentina goal. Well, this man would be more than capable of scoring a goal for Argentina if he gets an opportunity. Aguero's hit 12 goals in 9 Premier League starts for Manchester City this season. Gaitan swap flanks with Lamela. Bit of space opening up here for Argentina with Pereira. Gaitan might get onto the return here, very nearly did, away by Borsingua. Moutinho. Eder. Nani. Nani trying to feed the run of Rafael Guerrero. Mascherano in swiftly. Portugal have it back. Here's Nani. Free kick conceded by Lamela. Jose Font, Bruno Alves, and William Carvalho all made their way to join Eder. Nani will take the free kick. Oh, very disappointing. It's back with Nani. Can he make amends? He's got another free kick and a yellow card for Lamela. Can't have any complaints there, Lamela. Now, if we had one CR7 still out here, I would, well, there would be absolutely no doubt he'd be over this free kick. But neither Ronaldo or Messi reappeared after half-time. So the free kick is entrusted here to Quaresma. Looks as though he's going to have a go for goal here. No, decides to disappoint again. This is really not very good from Portugal from the last couple of set pieces. There's no imagination in that at all from Quaresma. Well, Santos will be deeply disappointed with the last two set pieces. He can't understand that. Trouble is, he won't have the players again for a few months. A long gap between the next international game. It's a frustrating time that managers and head coaches of national teams have. Just not enough precious time with the players. Here's Tevez. Chance to release Pereira. Singwa calling for better. There's no back pass there, despite a gentle inquiry from Pereira. Pereira. De Michelis. So he's going to see the game out at the age of 33. Really had a quiet time of it at the back alongside Otamendi, Di Michelis. Roncaglia. Mascherano. It's a sloppy pass from him. This is Quaresma. Real chance to threaten here, Ricardo Quaresma. Otamendi with a challenge, and referee Martin Atkinson afforded himself an excellent view of that. And quite rightly allowed play to continue. And here's Gaitan. Got Tevez in the middle. It's beyond him. This is Lamela. Can open up for a shot here for Eric Lamela. Decided not to take it on. It's back with Gaitan. Cleared by Guerrero. Here's Carlos Tevez. Bilia, Roncaglia. If there is to be a goal, you still feel it'll come more likely from Argentina. Their possession stats are very high in this game. Haven't created as many chances in the second half as they did in the first. Closest they came was a Messi shot from almost on the byline that touched off a post. It's a pullback by Bilia. Almost a little coming together there between Carlos Tevez and Martin Demichelis. The referee is going to have a word. It was Nani, of course, getting involved there with Demichelis. I just wonder how much both managers will take out of this particular friendly. They won't want to lose, nobody does, and it may well be petering out into a goalless draw, this one. It's having a climb surely there, Demichelis. Referee says no. Ball stayed in. This is Silva. Nani. Carvalho. Otamendi. Straight to Bosingwa. Here's Quaresma. Now Font. First senior cap for Jose Font. Waited a long time for it. 30 years old he is. Bosingwa. Skips away from Gaetan and then showed too much of the ball to Mascherano. There's that innate ability, Javier Mascherano, to sniff danger. Lamela. To pull back, clearly there by Silva. Rafael Guerrero. Nani. Bruno Alves. Spears a terrific pass of the night. Not a bad take either by Quaresma. Into Eder! Well, that's so much better from Portugal, who've really been flat for most of the evening. What a pass from Bruno Alves. Wonderful take as well from Quaresma. And Eder was sniffing his first senior international goal there. No joy in the end for him. It's a foul on Quaresma. Keeps Portugal high up the pitch. Portugal's last win, incidentally. I don't know whether Fernando Santos is aware of it, having just taken over the national team job, but it was 1972, and the great Eusebio scored in that game. Is there a hero here for Portugal? In by Moutinho, and again a set piece is a real disappointment. Quaresma. Quaresma will have a for Portugal. Martin Atkinson has already posted to his fourth official, Lee Probert, as to how much stoppage time will be. We've only got 1 minute at the end of the first half, and there's 2 at the end of the second. Here's Guerrero's cross. It's a late charge here from Portugal. Been a long time in coming. Space now for Silva. Oh, it struck Eder. Turns into a pass for Quaresma. Free header! Portugal it's Rafael Guerrero! And a wry smile passes the lips of the coach, Fernando Santos.